Hi, my name is Lane, and this is a deep dish pizza. I have been making this for many years for my family, and having a culinary background is an added bonus. Today I'm going to be telling you how you can make your own deep dish pizza. Pizza is popular. Domino's alone says that its global retail sales in 2019 were $14.3 billion. Why order when you can make your own pizza? That thought can be intimidating for many people, but as Julia Child once said, no one is born a great cook. One learns by doing. With that in mind, a pizza has three main components: crust, sauce, and toppings. So with the right utensils and supplies, the components, and a bit of knowledge, even a novice can assemble and bake their own personal deep dish pizza. Let's get started. Our first main point to make when making a pizza is utensils and supplies that you need. You're going to need a round cake pan. This particular recipe makes two 9-inch round pizzas. You're going to need a mixer with a dough hook. This is optional. You can also mix it in a separate bowl by hand. You're going to need a bowl for raising your bread, plastic wrap for covering your dough, an oven, pizza cutter, and a hot pan. Our next main point is the components or ingredients needed. For the crust, I've been making this crust for many years, but I got this recipe from Chef Ryder from All Recipes online. It consists of 2.5 cups of flour, 1 package active dry yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 cup warm milk, roughly about 110 degrees, 2 tablespoons olive oil, and 1 teaspoon salt. You want to first mix your water, your yeast, and your sugar together. Let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. That will activate the yeast. You can then add 1 cup of flour, your oil, and your salt, mixing that together, then add the remaining flour. If you're doing this in a mixer, you can mix it all together for about 7 to 8 minutes. But if you don't have a mixer, you mix it all by hand in your bowl, and then you roll it out onto a floured surface to knead it by hand for about 10 minutes. When this is done, you can take a separate bowl that has been sprayed with oil. You put your dough in it and cover it with the plastic wrap and place it in a warm place, about 80 degrees, for about an hour to rise. Your next component is going to be your sauce. For convenience, I usually just buy a store-bought sauce, but if you would like, you can make your own. Next, you're going to be using your toppings. This varies for personal preference. This particular pizza contains sliced mushrooms, onions, and peppers, and pepperoni with an Italian cheese blend. Our third main point is the assembly. You want to preheat your oven to 450 degrees. You then take at least 3 tablespoons of olive oil and place it into your cake pan. Make sure that you spread it around evenly, including the sides, because this is going to get your crust crispy. When you remove your dough after it's been rising, place it onto a floured surface. Let it set for about 10 minutes. This will make it easier to work with. Then you cut it in half and take each half, rolling it out and placing it into your pan, making sure that you're patting it down until it gets to the edges of the pan, and that it is consistent and even, not thicker on one side and thinner on the other. Then take about a half a cup of sauce, spread it evenly over the top of your crust, reaching the edges of the pan. For your toppings, this is your personal preference. You can make sure that you spread it consistently and evenly over the top. Same with the cheese. Make sure you spread it consistently and evenly over the top, bringing it to the edges of the pan, because when it bakes, it'll get crispy. Our fourth and final main point is baking. Your oven is preheated to 450, so you bake it in the oven for about 20 minutes until the cheese starts to turn light brown. Then when it is done, you take it out using your hot pad, letting it cool on the counter for about 10 minutes, then cutting it on a cutting board using your pizza cutter. In conclusion, we have gone over how to create a homemade deep dish pizza. We have gone over the utensils and supplies needed, the components and ingredients, how to assemble, and baking your pizza. You can now use your newfound knowledge to make your own deep dish pizza. Enjoy, and thank you for listening.